Welcome back again to a new episode of my podcast, The Brave Space. I am your host, Laila Monterey, and today I welcome my dear friend and psychotherapist, Heather Garbutt. She has been a therapist for many, many years, I think over 20, and a relationship coach. And today we picked a topic that is so important. It's how to create a Christmas you don't have to recover from and setting intention for Christmas. Let's jump right in.
I got the feeling that this is gonna be my day. Let's go to the brave space.
Thank you so much, Laila. It's lovely to be here with you. Shall I just kick off?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I think it's really important to be intentional. And by that, I mean have a really clear picture of what you want from your Christmas season. You know, they call it the holidays in America. There are many other festivals this time of year. And I think right across the spectrum, it's important to get really clear what your priorities are, what your needs are, who you want to be with, if you want to be with anybody, how you want it to be. It's a deep time of reflection as well. So there's lots to consider.
Mm-hmm. Lots to consider. Yes. I love your, that's the hair of my daughter. And that's the beard of my daughter. So I love I love what you shared about Christmas as a time to reflect on the whole year and getting yourself ready for the new year. So is there anything specific that you can recommend or you do as a routine for yourself?
Yes, I look back and I look at what I've been grateful for the last year. And I go through my phone photos just to have little memories, and I go through my diary because sometimes you forget the good things that have happened. So busy looking forwards, you don't look back. You don't see how much you've achieved.
Do you also journal? Do you have like a diary or any a specific program you use?
No, I just have these 3 prompts. What am I grateful for? What can I pat myself on the back for? And who do I appreciate this year and why?
So it's very concentrated and broken down to the core essence. Wow, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Well, it allows so much then. You haven't got too narrow a channel to be thinking in. It allows a big compass of events and ideas and appreciations.
How can we, I get a lot of people who ask me, Laila, how do I know what I want? How do I find out about what do I want? Because you said get really specific on what you want and what you need. But actually, a lot of people have troubles knowing what they want and also what they need. So how can you name any tools, any ideas, how people can find out?
Yeah. So if you were to write a list of everything you really don't want, people find that much easier.
Yes.
And then you think, and what beside that list, you write the other list, what would be the opposite of this?
Okay. That's a good starting point. And how about how to memorize this? You do a list and you do like a vision board because at this time when you go on social media, everyone is vision boarding and everybody is manifesting and it's like everybody has to do this. But do you think it's necessary to have kind of a vision board?
It's helpful to give you an anchor.
Mm-hmm.
And to have a picture, we tend to think more in pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're an audio person, then sounds,
Mm-hmm.
music that you listen to that will help you
Mm-hmm.
remember your list. Or record yourself a little voice memo, no more than 2 or 3 minutes long, that says what I am experiencing, and do it in the present. So I am experiencing joy being with the people I love, and I feel cocooned away from all the busyness of the world. It feels really lovely. I feel at peace in myself. It might be as simple as that.
Yes, because for me, especially if I can share my experience or what I want for Christmas is for me, it's a very magical time. I just like to really dive into the magic of of the candles and the light, and it begins to become dark very early, so you see the stars, and it's very mystical time for me, and so I enjoy that, something magical to me. And with that, I enjoy also the peace of the night, because it's more nighttime than daytime, and everything becomes more quiet. And for me, this time of the year is easier to slow down. I use it also to slow down. And for December, I usually do not make any new plans. I also don't make new plans in November, but it's just really like reflecting, ending it all, summing it all up, and really time for myself. And I love, love, love the holidays. When I had work where I couldn't do my holidays from 23rd till 6th of January, it broke my whole rhythm somehow. It destroyed my whole rhythm. It's like really going one time a year into really a quiet time with not too many plans. I'm not traveling in Christmas time, not too many plans, just long walks, watching the snow. I don't even do a lot of sports. I don't really have, it's really my time of recovering. That's how I like this time of the year. It's like really recovering, recollecting energy, finalizing everything, bring everything to a good end so I can start with the new year. Yes.
That's beautiful. It's sort of completing everything. So it's
Yes.
settled. It's put to bed for the year. That's really, really nice. Yeah.
Yes, it's really, yeah, as you say, it's a lot about completing. So for me, it's also by completing, I can get my mind off from things. I can declutter my mind. And it's really, really freeing for me.
Yes, I agree. That decluttering is really good. I'm not sure I agree with spring cleaning, but I think this time of year it's sort of natural to make things decorative, yes, but also more spare. You know, when we put all the decorations away, there's a sense of cleaning and waiting for the new year, which I really like. And I'm totally with you. For this time of year is a sort of hibernation. We go inside. It's a time for reading or listening to music or making things, you know, like we like to cook and we like to paint and draw with our children or for ourselves. You know, it's an expressive time.
Yes, like, you know, that you just saw my daughter. I enjoy the time so much, so intensively with my daughter, reading with her the books every night. And also she's in the kindergarten, she's doing the crib play. She's the angel, and she already told me next year she wants to be the donkey. It's like having the joy and the luck to also see it through the eyes of the children with the here in Austria we have the Christkindl coming, or Santa Claus. And I think I can really deeply connect with this child point of view and this magic fairy tales.
Yes, it's really lovely. And for me as well, I like the community feeling. Everybody in our village has got their Christmas lights up, and there are a number of carol services going on. And they're not all based in the church, though many are. We've got loads of churches around here, and some of them are very, very old. And I like that feeling of everybody being together. I'm not necessarily a Christian, but there is something for me, there is something there. And I like that feeling of togetherness and people praying or meditating for goodness in the world, for a new birth, that we're coming together in community to do that. I really love that.
That's beautiful. There were many, many times in my life where I was alone at Christmas, and I'm not Christian either. Do not have any religion, but I do go to church, and I did go when I was completely by myself. I was not in a relationship or whatever. I did go to church on the 20th, and it was a beautiful feeling because I didn't know anybody, but everyone was welcoming and everyone was kind of experiencing the same because after all, we all want the same things. Like we might on a more superficial level, we might think we need this and that and we want this and that, or we have our patterns, but deep down, we are all human beings. We all crave for being connected to each other. We all need each other. When in this moment it's so humble. It's not about the presents. It's not about the house. It's just about connecting with someone and being part of something, being part of a community.
Yeah, it's lovely. And not, the traditions of what we eat and what we drink, we can choose about that too. We can choose who we spend our Christmas Day with, Christmas Eve with, depending on your traditions and your choices. I think it's really important, and this is the intentional piece again. Who do you want to be with? Do you want to be alone? Do you want to join in with the partying and the alcohol drinking? Or are you more sort of clean living? Do you want to stay healthy? I mean, there's no judgment here, and I've done both, and sometimes I like one and sometimes I like the other. How do you want to spend your time? Who do you want to play with? Those are the important things for me. And to be clear too about the people you don't want to be with, and invite the ones that you do, or ask the ones that you do to be invited to spend time with them, and politely respond to invitations that you don't want, saying no.
This is about setting healthy boundaries. When you say choosing, I hear some people that talk to me like, I cannot choose. I cannot leave. My mother is alone. The father just died. I cannot leave her alone. They join communities or families they don't really want to be with out of feelings of guilt or shame or whatever. So how can we go from this I have to I choose to?
I think you've hit the nail on the head, because I think it depends on your relationship with the mother or the father who is alone. If it's toxic to you, then they need to be left alone, not to punish them, but to preserve your sanity. It's important not to be around people who are toxic, who are going to attack you or undermine you or make you feel 2 or 3 or 5 or 9 again in unhappy times. It's really important you don't put yourself in the way of that, and allow for the fact that other people may judge you on that, but your reasons, and I would stand by you in your reasons. If it is unbearable for you to be with them, then don't.
We hear this word toxic. We hear this all the time. And I just wanted to kindly ask you if you can give us more detail on how someone can identify if the relationship with the mother or the father or the sister, brother is toxic.
Wow, that's a big question, but I'll do my best. A builder friend of mine once said, if you spend time with somebody, do you feel drained or warmed? Are they a drain or a radiator?
Mm.
And if you consistently feel worse for being with them, then they probably aren't good for you. It's a bit of an understatement. So that's how you choose. You choose by how you feel, what your body tells you, what your mood tells you, what your anxiety levels tell you. And if they really upset your system and make you feel unhappy or overly anxious or miserable, avoid them.
It's if I can share my experience, and it took me really, really long time to find this out. I think just in my last years that I found that out, because this feeling was so familiar to me that that I cannot be myself around this person. And it took me, because it's mainly a trauma podcast, and I'm talking from a place of, I have childhood trauma and also adult trauma. And trauma has a lot to do with not being accepted in childhood for who you are. So it took me such a long time to get this feeling when I don't know how to feel about this person. Did he say something? He didn't really say something, but I don't feel good around this person. And it was just a very subtle feeling of of, I don't know, I cannot be myself. I always feel not good enough. Like I show up, I'm friendly, I'm whatever, but there is somehow an expectation how the person wants me to be, and which is so draining. It's so draining because it hits my I'm not good enough. I think I would call people who are like this are energy vampires. It's like people who need you to feel somehow not good about yourself to feel better about themselves. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely does. Yes.
Let's move on to our question, how to break. I think a little bit we have already started with it. How to break generational patterns around holidays, bad habits
Yeah.
that have been down from grandmother to mother to daughter.
Okay. So breaking family traditions. There's a lot of pressure on women at Christmas time or in the holiday season to be all things to all people, to produce all the
Yes.
presents, to produce all the food. It doesn't have to be that way. Again, I think it's important to be intentional. What do you want? What do you want to create? And if you do want to create all that, what support do you need? Don't burden yourself with doing it all on your own, and make it what you want. In a way, you can create new traditions in families and friendships by just asking people what they want. So you can take everything into account with each other. If you're a group of friends spending Christmas together, and one would like to play some board games, and one would like to eat Christmas cake, one would like to have a bottle of fizzy wine, you can accommodate all of those. Another might like a walk outside. Another might like to listen to concerts of Christmas music. Somebody else might want to watch a Christmas film. So if you agree together that you can incorporate as much as possible, the people involved, whether it's family or friends, will all feel considered and more likely to go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's for, a child wants a rocket ship, that's going to be a bit hard to actually provide for. But you can think about what might be a close run thing, like watching something that has a rocket ship in it, or playing games together where we can pretend we're in a rocket ship and we're all going to the moon or Mars or whatever they want. There can be different ways to accommodate people. And this is making your own traditions based on what you want and really being very clear what you don't. So doing that list of what you don't want and then putting it together with what you do and getting everybody to come with their lists in mind, preferably a few weeks ahead. We're a bit late for that now, but a few weeks ahead. So you've got time, all of you, to plan. It doesn't fall on one person's shoulders.
What I would like to share is what you said with making your preparations beforehand, so you really have time to think about it and get all the stuff together. So I am a little bit of a perfectionist. And I also come from movie business, and I saw all these beautiful movies because as an inspiration. And so I set the bar very high of how I wanted my Christmas to be. Having this high expectations led me to procrastinate because I thought, oh my God, maybe I don't hit the mark. But now as mother, I learned so much being a mother. I love it. And I see it like rehearsing for a theater play. The first time, I might make many mistakes. I might miss whatever, the cherry on the cake or whatever. My chicken is not so saucy like it should be. But with every year, I practice and it becomes better and more smooth. When I can help you with something, I would like to share this. Give yourself the time to grow into it and practice it, because perfection comes from practice.
Yes. And don't feel like, you might choose that one thing that you want to create, or that, one Christmas dinner that you want to create. The rest, let yourself off eschewing processed food. Don't feel you've got to make, in the UK, all the mince pies and all the marzipan fruits or whatever is your sort of family tradition or tradition you like to adhere to. There are good quality ones out there that you can buy. So you take the pressure off.
Yes. You know what? I actually buy a lot of stuff because there are really, really good qualities out there. So I don't put too much pressure on myself. I cook a very simple dinner. For me, the most important thing is just to have a really peaceful, with no pressure, no stress, no pressure. Everyone enjoys the evening. That's how I see my Christmas.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah. The other thing that is sort of coming into this for me is about who you want to spend it with. Sometimes our families are quite difficult places to be. And we really want to try and stay in our adult selves. Again, the intention and preparation for that. Okay, if my brother plays his usual sort of 5-year-old game and nicks some food from my plate, am I going to respond like my 4-year-old self and scream the place down? No, I'm not. I'm just going to look at him and let it go, because I don't want to be stirred up by that. I don't want to spoil the atmosphere of the dinner. If I do something different, if I don't put energy back into it, then it'll burst his bubble as well, and he's not going to get to spoil things either. I mean, you can't control everybody all the time, but you can control in yourself how you react. You may feel like smacking him on the back of the hand with your fork, but you don't do it.
Even for myself, like I have a very complicated family relationship with my siblings because we actually didn't really grew up together, and we are so different, and we all have our wounds from our really difficult deep down. I know we all love each other, but we hit each other buttons right in the face. It's all about knowing yourself, where your triggers are or what your triggers are. For me, one of my top triggers is, for example, that I am responsible for everything. It's always my fault. I'm so strongly triggered, and I go into a strong defense fight mode. It's very, very hard for me to control. And it's all about practicing, and maybe there might be a time when it's so strong that you might skip for 1 or 2 years to spend the time with your family until you have mastered to control your trigger reaction. That's what
Yeah.
I did. I skipped many, many years where I didn't see my mother or where I didn't see my siblings because I couldn't handle it. But I always had in mind that I will keep on working on myself, and one day it might become possible. Like even when you get divorced, and the first years might be difficult to see each other, but maybe one day after 4 or 5 years, maybe it could be that you're kind of a patchwork family and you all spend Christmas together. So that is always my intention for difficult relationships. Unless you're
Yeah.
dealing with a real sociopath, then I would
Yeah, I
do.
agree.
Then
Yeah.
go and run.
Yes. Don't spend any time with them. No. So let's just talk a little bit about how to take care of your triggered self in preparation. I mean, it's a deep thing, but this is a simplified version. What we want to be cultivating in ourselves is a really kind inner parent, the most adult part of us that there can be, that can look on at things and make decisions about how we behave. That if we've got maybe, I don't know, hundreds of little selves, our little selves, there'd be the me that was in hospital as a child. There would be the me that was frightened at school. There would be the me that was frightened of my mother. There'd be the me that was trying to placate everybody to make sure everything was all right. There'd be the me that was frustrated that my dad wouldn't play. There would be the me that could see that my mother was so resentful about making the Christmas food, she would make it wrong, so it didn't taste very nice. And she didn't do it intentionally, it was just there. So there's all those me's. And this adult me is now taking the place of the inner parents that we've taken in. So I'm looking at that little one. Say I'm 7 years old and I can see everything's really stressful. I would go then into fawning. and just please everybody, try and make things all right, be as helpful as I can, okay, mummy, I can carry that for you. I can do this, I can do that. And I can now choose if I do that, because this part of me will say, it's okay, little Heather, I've got you now. You can calm down because I'm going to decide what we do and what we don't do. And I'm not going to put you in that situation where you're so anxious that you're running around trying to sort everything out. So if we can really, I'm holding little me in my arms, encompass our little selves and comfort them, it's okay, I've got you now. You're with me. We're never going to go there again. I'm deciding what's okay for us and what isn't. And I'm not going to take us places that aren't good for us.
Wow.
Then that gives you so much more strength in the moment.
Can I just shortly, because you mentioned phone, it's the force response, trauma response, fight, flight, freeze, and
Fawning, yeah.
Can you just shortly explain what exactly does it mean? Because most of the people know the three responses: fight, flight, freeze, but a lot of people don't know what's fawning.
Yeah, and it's often a thing that rapists will say about the woman. Well, she was smiling at me. How could that be a no? She was saying no, but she was smiling, so I just took the smile as an invitation. And it isn't. It's a fear response. So it's
kind of
being
pleasing,
submissive, pleasing, being submissive.
Pleasing.
Yeah. If you shout at a puppy, it'll roll over on its back and put its feet in the air. Please don't hurt me, but it looks like it's being really open and vulnerable, but it isn't. It's saying, please don't hurt me. And it's that sort of, if I'm as soft and kind and pliable and what would be the word, compliant as possible, then I might get out of here okay. If I stand up for myself, I'm frightened I'm going to get hit or harmed. For some reason, I'm not frozen. It's a little bit more active than frozen, but it's another option. It's another option that we go into when we're in trauma.
Let's talk about designing your own rituals rooted in calm, joy, and authenticity.
Yeah, I love this.
What could be such a routine or ritual?
I was talking with somebody today, and they said that in Switzerland, they have a ritual where they write down the 13 things that they want from next year. And they fold it up and they don't look at it again.
Okay.
And each of the 12 days of Christmas, they put one of those in the fire for the gods or the universe or source or God to bring into manifestation next year. But the 13th one is up to them. So on the 13th day, they open that one, and that's what they need to actively work on for the year, which I thought was a nice ritual to do. And for me, I think there's something lovely as well about candlelight. Having a candle that you light every day just to mark each of the 12 days might be a nice thing to do. And really thinking with each candlelight about how much you love and care for yourself. You may have the gratitude piece, what was I grateful for yesterday? What am I grateful for today? What can I pat myself on the back for? Who can I appreciate and for what? What have I seen that's been beautiful and joyful? What am I planning that will give me loving warmth and grace? Whatever the things are that are important to you, every time you light the candle, you think about those.
I'm lighting a candle every night.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. And rituals now with my daughter, I see, I do it more and more. I had my morning routine and whatever, but now, but sometimes, when you're tired, you skip it. But now I'm like, really, I have my routine with my daughter, and it's giving each day this space. You don't, you're such a noisy world outside, really giving space every day, and it adds up. It's just the little things that you do consistently, checking in with this beautiful moment. If it's just a small moment, for me, it's perfect. Like every day, no matter what happened, is perfect for me. When I read the night story to my daughter, I bring her to bed. It's the perfect moment for me, and I go to sleep at peace.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. That's truly intentional, and that's embodying love.
Yes. I'm very blessed.
Not just that, You are blessed, absolutely. She's a glorious girl. And you've created this. It could be very different.
Let's go to the point where you wrote down chosen family and building supportive community. We did cover a little bit by talking about church, for example. The church could be a chosen community and a support system. Is there anything else like you want to add? Friends as your chosen family? I had, for example, one of the first Christmases with my daughter. I was not feeling good. I was really scared. I felt I failed so much and I felt guilty. And I was asking one of my best friends if I could spend Christmas with her and her family. And it took me a lot to ask this. It took me a lot, but I felt like just ask her, just be very open, very honest about how you feel and what you would love to do or how I would like to spend the evening. And she said yes. And I came with a lot of guilt, but actually what she said in the aftermath, she said it was so, so beautiful. It was also so giving to her and her family. Even them enjoyed it. It was just a different dynamic. And yeah, it was beautiful. So many things can happen when you dare to overcome your fears, ask for support, walk up to a friend, be very open with how you feel and what you really want. And you will be surprised what comes your way.
Absolutely. I'd agree with absolutely everything you've said. Yeah. That daring, that's so courageous. Yeah. And we all need to be courageous at these times because people don't necessarily know what's going on for you if you don't tell them, and they don't know what you want if you don't ask.
Yes. I mean, it's fair enough. Everyone is busy. Like everyone has his own life. And I don't want to say like we live in difficult times because every time has its quality. And the grandparents, they had other challenges like war. They were facing other things. But I think with all the IT and social media, we live in a time with a lot of distraction and a lot of noise, and we lose ourselves. And you cannot even judge the people because they struggle so much themselves to focus and to really filter what's the essence or the important things, or to really connect with other people, because most of them even struggle connecting to themselves.
One of the things that I talk about in terms of staying calm and focused with yourself through it all is every time you visit the bathroom, whether you're a man or a woman, you can shut the door and you can spend a few minutes just being with yourself. If there's a mirror, look in the mirror and say those words, I've got you, we're choosing, we're grown up, we're loving this, all of the things. What's good now? You can do it in the moment. And then you can check in from that adult self. What are you feeling right now? What do you need? It's very simple. And you can nurture yourself with that by responding. You ask the person in the mirror, what are you feeling? And then you respond and you say, well, I'm feeling really tired. I think I might like to go and have a nap. I see you're feeling really tired and you'd like to go and have a nap. So what do you need? I need to go and have a nap. It's really clear. Okay. How can you make that happen? Those inner conversations.
Beautiful. I think we slowly come to an end, but I absolutely enjoyed it. And I think your last words, they're the most essential ones. It's really about your life is really about yourself. It's about making yourself happy, not anybody else. Of course, if you're in a relationship, you want to make the other one happy, but it's mainly all ourselves work to make ourselves happy and go into a connection where both take care of themselves, know who they are, what they want, how they can communicate what they want. And there is one person you sure have to spend this life together with, and this is you. So I highly encourage everyone to, if you haven't started with this discovery journey, to go and discover yourself, discover what you really want for your Christmas, and Step by step. You don't have to do it overnight. Step by step, create it by yourself. And you have the power. You can choose. We gave you some good examples, and life will support you in what you want. Once you start with this, good things will come your way. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you for your time. I hope you could take something with you. Is there anything else you want to add, Heather?
No, but if you don't mind, I'll do a little invocation.
Yes.
Dear everybody, it is my heartfelt wish that you experience the holiday season of your best dreams. You spend it with the people you want to. You enjoy yourself. You feel at peace. You feel happy, healthy, nourished, and nurtured. And that you go into 2026 absolutely fulfilled and satisfied, recharged, revitalized, and ready to create your next piece of future. I ask this for the good of all concerned, and thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Heather, so much. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye for now.
Have a beautiful Christmas, everyone, and goodbye from the Brave Space.
Bye.